everyone from YouTube, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Seb Richards and it is 5:15 in the afternoon. It is absolutely pissing it down with rain, which is why me, Richard, Lewis and Luis and John, we've been trying to get our internet connection sorted for this webinar, as you guys on the webinar are lagging behind me just a little bit, which is really irritating. So be very careful when placing your trades, guys. That's all I'm going to say. So what you're probably better off doing is just taking this as sort of a teaching sort of lesson, and not really as trading. So ask away any questions that you have, anything like that, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do something. Also, guys, those of you who are listening on YouTube, please give this video a massive thumbs up, okay? And we'll see if we can at least place at least one trade. Alright, but obviously, you know, it is going to be interesting. So those of you that are watching on YouTube, don't click off this video because you can still learn something. So, Richard is new to the webinar. He's very enthusiastic, I'll tell you that. What I was going to say, he didn't get set up alongside us, but he gets one. He did get can't even speak English. A session to come and have a look and see what we're doing here. So we have Lewis is back as well. We have John who's back, and we have I'm gonna call Lewis now Luis, because there's two Lewises. Luis. That's how you say, isn't it? It's Luis because it's like Brazilian or Spanish or something like that. So anyway, Rich said I won't be trading. I'm just gonna watch. And Lewis says I'm not going to risk it. It's too laggy. It is really laggy, and I'm really struggling. I've placed 2 trades. I've won one, lost one, but it's only €5, isn't it? So I've only lost €1.20, so I don't really give a shit. So yeah, guys, ask me any questions that you have, please. And also, one quick thing: those of you who are watching at home, Tuesday's webinar will not be so early in the morning. Okay, because I want more people to attend. So I need your input, guys. I want you lot to tell me in the comment section of this video. Make a YouTube account, do whatever, subscribe, like the video, comment down below what times you want to see the webinars at. Seriously. And then I'll put an overall time at. Because if you guys want the webinars at 10 o'clock at night, so then there's 20 people, let's do it at 10 o'clock at night then. Or let's do it at midnight. Guys, tell me when you want the webinars and I'll evolve around you lot. But you have to tell me. It's crucial. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. My stomach is like grumbling so much, man. I'm on like this strict diet. And I'm drinking like protein shakes, going to the gym every day, oats for breakfast. Ugh, Jesus, chicken, spinach, and broccoli and carrots, which is all fine. I love all that. Oh dear me though, but stomach's grumbling a little bit. Detox pills, fuck's sake. I'm literally shitting and pissing out the other needle here. Anyway, enough talking about me and my bowels. So 10 AM is good for us. Well, Lewis, put that in the comment section of the YouTube video. That will be going up in about an hour's time after this webinar. So, does anybody have any questions for me today? What is on everyone's mind? Tell me what is going on. Ask me anything, please. I'm begging you. And then, as you guys are thinking about what to talk to me, let's have a butcher's at the economic calendar. So, in 40 minutes, there's a speech for the US pairing, and over the course of the day, there has just been US, and we know this from this morning's webinar anyway. That's what we were doing, that's what we were trading on, and quite frankly, it was a lot of fun to do that. Now, my laptop was frozen. Well, my monitor, should I say. Oh, fuck's sake, what is going on? Anyway, let's try not to get too distracted. Let's keep our heads nice and focused on this downhill trend that the Euro and USD pairing is giving us. So, whoever is on option robot... My fucking laptop's frozen! Again! It's not the worst thing in the world, man. What the hell is going on? See, my laptop's not even running at max capacity, it's running at like 50% and it's still struggling. But yeah, again, saying that, I think it's just the Wi-Fi. Quick question, a bit of a noobish question, however. How do you get the candlestick layout on IQ options? Okay, bottom left hand corner, you will see a. Oh, I forgot. It's Let me get up on my phone a second. Hang on, I'll be able to tell you. Let me get up on my phone. One sec, Richard. And I'll be able to, I think it's in the bottom left, and I think it's like this line, because at the moment I take it you probably got it online or area. Okay, that's not loading. Fuck's sake, this Wi-Fi is absolutely getting on my nerves. Right, yeah, but it's definitely in the bottom left, Richard. I know that 100%. Just have a look around that general area. GBP USD, you're welcome, dude. Overall trend is absolutely smashing it, going up. GBP USD, there isn't one to actually place an option robot, unfortunately. So GBP USD, I'm going to do a put, guys, on GBP USD. You guys can follow along suit as well. Do you ever trade like Keith, e.g. looking for support and resistance lines, then waiting for them? I do, don't get me wrong. But during the webinar, I want to be able to identify trends. I love trend trading. I think trend trading is my favourite way of trading. I think it's the most simplest way of trading. And in a way, yes, it's more easier to identify than support and resistance. But support and resistance is so popular, and it's a very good way of doing it. The only problem is, say you're looking at this GBP USD graph, okay? Where... You tell me, Lewis, where you think the support and resistance is on that. And that's a 6 hour view by the looks of it. Where do you think, what time is it in? Is it 12:30, 1 o'clock, 1:30, etc.? You tell me the time, and I'll tell you if you're right. And then I'm going to tell you how hard it can be to wait for support and resistance line. Because during my webinars, I want to be able to get trades out quicker, if that makes sense. Not risky. If they're risky, I'll tell no one to trade on it. But if they're good profitable trades, like this one happening now, because it is going up. Let me just get this up. There we go. See what I mean? So those of you who did place your trade the same time as me on GBP USD, you would have been in the money by at least, by the looks of it, by at least something like 5, 6, possibly 7 seconds. There isn't any, I don't think. Possibly resistance at 16.00. Correct. That is the closest resemblance you're going to see to some sort of support and resistance. Yes, you can get small ones, obviously, around here. Big one there, like you said. But apart from that, it is a waiting game. Very small. Do you know what I mean? It's a big, big waiting game. It really is. And sometimes you don't have all day to trade. My problem is I'm very impatient. I'm very impatient. Very impatient. Now, because I am very impatient, I want to be able to place trades quickly, and that's a very risky thing to do. It's stupid. If you guys have more time than I do, take your time, analyse the trends, analyse support and resistance, and then place the trades accordingly. There is nothing wrong in using graphs, charts, any strategy that you want to your advantage. The biggest thing that you can do, okay, when you're trading is take your time. Alright, I take my time, but sometimes I want to do at least 1 or 2 trades during the webinar, possibly more, as you guys can happily tell by my previous webinars. But it still comes down to the fact that you must wait patiently, place those trades accordingly. In 1 hour, if you can place 3 or 4 trades in 1 hour at 25 euros each, okay, that's a profit of around maybe 70, 80 euros or pounds, dollars in just 1 hour, and being patient about it. Identifying support and resistance, you're obviously not going to get it every hour, every day. It's fluctuating. No one's going to predict the market 100%. But the reason why I'm doing these webinars is to try and help you guys out as much as possible. You know, if I can help you identify support resistance, you got to remember me and Simon do provide aftercare. So if you do need help, just give us a quick Skype. Now, when it comes down to the aftercare stuff and helping you, because we're busy helping out other people and doing the reviews and the YouTube channel, don't panic if we don't get back to you straight away. You know, we might take at least a couple of hours, possibly 3 or more. You know, I handle mornings and afternoons. Then when I go to gym, Simon then will take over, and then I'll take over again for a couple of hours, and then Simon will take over the afternoons plus the evenings. And that's the way we do things. So we're always going to be available at some part of the day. But anyway, back onto it. So as you can see, it did go down. So we did win the trade on the GBP USD, as you can easily see there. We placed a trade at that top bit. As it started coming down, that's when we smashed it in the money. Let's go and have a look for some more trades. So, it looks like GBP USD has had a bit of a flat ass right now. Okay, well, at least I'm £5 in the money, so at least I can walk away from this and say I've done something during this webinar. Richard, do you have any questions? Not at the moment. Okay, no problem. USD CAD. USD CAD's hit a very big... Okay, so let me just talk about trends a minute again, because if anybody wants to know about trends, please go back to my other bloody videos. Alright, I have them all here on my YouTube channel. By the way, I hope you all like my latest video. I thought I'd try and spice things up a bit. I have how to analyze trends here. And then I have trends, like how to identify trends, how to analyze trends. Okay, so please use these to your advantage. Seriously, that's why I do the videos, guys. That's why I do the videos. So, neutral trend anyway. Let's go back and talk about it. I'll go back and talk about it anyway, because I do like talking about trends. So we have obviously big, massive, long-term support and resistance lines. Massive neutral trend. This is just neutral, because it's bouncing between 2 pivot points. But this is over a very long term. Long term. So no trading, okay? We keep away from bits like this. Now, because we're doing 60 seconds, okay, 60 seconds is a little bit different, because that means you can afford to place short trades. So when you do see it hit off a long-term pivot point, like if you're sitting here for like 10 minutes watching the market do this, as soon as it reaches a high point, okay, its top pivot point of 1.3115, then you can do a 60-second trade of it going down, or even 5 minutes, because you're definitely going to be in the money. So say if you do this, okay, that happens, it hits this top pivot point, you wait a minute, and you start and you see it go down to hit this point here, just here, because that's where it hit, just there on its next minute, okay. Then you go over put 60 seconds. As long as you put the trade right there and then, okay, you'll have 1 minute and 45 seconds of in the money time. So you'll have 45 seconds to spare, because that means by the time it expires, it will be around this point. Here. And then what you're going to do, okay, is then you're going to wait for a little bit, wait for it to reach another high point, close to the 1.3115. Watch it dip a little bit like here, so it gets to this point, and then you're going to place a put trade right there. And then as it goes in the put, you've got all this time. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes of in the money right here. So even if you place the trade here, or here, or here, well, obviously not there, so get rid of that. But you guys know where I'm coming from. As long as you're following short-term trends just like that, wait for it to hit a secondary high point, say here. As long as you're placing a put trade anywhere from this point, okay, and upwards, so this general area, okay, you're going to be in the money, okay? So even if you go over put here, to get to here, you're in the money. And likewise again, and maybe a cheeky one more if you get to this point to finish off on here. So that's 4 trades just in the money right there. And I know it sounds like a bunch of gibberish what I'm saying, but if you're new, it will come to you. You are not going to learn this in one day. So keep joining the webinars and asking those questions. Anyway, actually, there is a good time in the day for different currencies, meaning working hours for the USA. Does that affect trades more than if it was out of hours? That depends, because I'm in Europe, you're in USA. So if you go to the economic calendar, for example, okay, everything in my area, in my working hours, okay, I've had Italian flags, GBP flags, the Spanish flags, and all the European flags, everything that's happening in their countries all have already hit and moved on. So if we scroll down to tomorrow, for example, okay, all of this would be happening in my working hours from here to around, say, here, okay? So all of this in your Europe time. Then when you finish work, guys, in the USA, it will be around this time for us, around from 20:30, okay, onwards. This will obviously be your working time to trade as well. Now, obviously, you can wake up at midnight. I don't know if that's around this time around here, where you guys are, about 1, 2 in the morning, will be around when our markets start opening. So, yes, you could trade around that time as well. Everyone's going to have a completely different area, sort of time and currencies to trade in. Australia and New Zealand are the same, obviously, but they have their own AUD and NZD pairings. Obviously, you guys have the dollar, and we have the euro and the GBP, Swiss franc, etc. So there is a lot more volatile in our working hours because we have more currency pairs, and when more currency pairs happen and activate, you've got to take into consideration that there's a lot of countries, there's a lot of things happening, and it's all going to affect the market. All in a good way, safe, as long as there's not too much heavy, stuff going on, like something really majorly bad has happened, then we're not going to see much fluctuations. Even if there's a high volatility movement, the only thing you're going to really see is something like this. So if I get my pen out again, on a high volatility movement, you'll see stuff like this. High volatility around this area, okay? That's it. For lower times, I reckon you would see stuff around in this region. Please excuse my baby writing. And then medium, I can't actually find one at the moment, so you're just going to improvise. But basically, it will just be something like this, but cut in between the two. Now, there's also something else, okay, I've got to explain, is when you're looking at speeches, okay, on, let me have a quick picture. So, economic calendar. Now, you're going to find ones that have the speech next to them, okay? Now, when you find ones with speech, that's going to be lasting over a set period of time. So, you won't instantly find there's going to be a big market movement straight away. Sometimes you're going to have to be waiting 20 minutes, half an hour, or anything sort of around, that time. Or even longer. It's like when the whole Donald Trump bloody president stuff was going on. Bloody hell. Fluctuations were going in everywhere because there were speeches. Really good time to trade though. Oh, this has been a good webinar for information, I'm not going to lie. Would it be good to use Bollinger Bands with neutral trends? I've seen Ember Trader using quite a lot in Bitcoin. Let me tell you something right now, okay? Do not listen to a word that Pratt says. Alright, there's something wrong with expert option. That's why I haven't done a review on it yet. I don't want to. Do not listen to a word that daft arsehole says, right? Why would you do YouTube videos wearing shit like that? Dear me. Right, has anybody got any questions? Anybody have any questions? Anybody at all? Does anybody have any questions? I'm just going to try something. I'm going to do a little put, cheeky put on USD CAD. I just want to quickly try something, guys. Do not place a trade. What's the option robot saying USD CAD put? I should have. The reason why I didn't do an option robot because I want to watch the chart live. And if I put it on both, then I might actually end up losing both. So, what currencies do you find best to trade? Is there some that were better for your trades? Now, what you've got to take into consideration is option bot and option robot both have their specific currencies that you can trade on. Okay, so obviously GBP USD, AUD USD, USD CAD, Euro USD, mainly pairings that go against the USD at the moment. It's just the ones that the actual softwares do support. Oh, fuck's sake! This is why I hate trading sometimes. So it really does depend. Anyway, sorry Richard, I was halfway through speaking. But yeah, it really does depend. By the way, guys, Euro USD, if you want to do one quick cheeky trade, do a put on Euro USD while it's neutral. If it starts moving a little bit, don't place it. So yeah, obviously, for Europeans, I would recommend early as possible. What you want to do is you want to catch the market opening times, okay? So for Europeans, you want to be trading really early in the morning, okay? And then when the markets start to close, you could even trade in between 1 and 3 o'clock if you want to, okay? Because that's what I do, and it does work very well. And for the US, you want to usually focus when you guys just finish work or in your mornings. Because in your mornings, you would catch the in between 1 and 3 o'clock time. Okay? So that's what you guys want to do. Yay! It's just in the circle. One thing that I've realised with this, which is really cool, and I sort of like question like the technical side of it, is it's pretty cool how they give you like this circle. I think it's brilliant. I love it because it's like this thing of like, I just like the circles. Is it best to put on the peaks of a downtrend and call on the dips in an upward trend? See, that depends because that's where you'd bring in stuff like counter trending. Now, if you want to know more about that, please go to my other YouTube videos. I will post them right now in your chat box. There you go. You got the links there. You're welcome, dude. Now, has anyone got any more questions? Because I'm going to have to wrap this up now. It's coming up to 6 o'clock. And unfortunately, I've got to have my dinner. Because that's part of my diet routine. And by the way, guys, I'm not fat. Right? I just want to become, like... I just want to have a really good body. Like, I'm quite slim. But the thing is, I just want this good diet. Lots of protein. Smashing out the gym every day. And yeah, just getting that ultimate summer body really. And yeah, so I recommend you guys do it if you really want to. It's quite easy actually. You just gotta dedicate yourself and not snack. And if you want to snack, have a carrot or just a raw carrot, raw broccoli. I don't know. Raw broccoli is quite nice. You're welcome, Richard. Anytime. Oi. I'm very glad you enjoyed your first webinar. But everyone, guys, give this video a massive thumbs up when it gets on YouTube. I'll much appreciate that. Anyway, guys, Take it easy. See you lot on the next webinar. Adios.